Okay, so unfortunately, this is a re record because I don't know, I think my camera got too hot. So everything I recorded didn't work. It's fine. We've moved locations a little bit, but this is a video. It's going to be a very short video about wellness for Black women and why I think so many Black women are unwell. I don't think that this is just about body weight, BMI, um, I think it's deeper than that. I think it's about like mental health, physical health, nutrition, lifestyle. And also, I want to start by really talking about I don't, or premising the fact that I don't think that soft life, I am not advocating for soft life as I'm talking about wellness for Black women. The reason that I'm not advocating for soft life is because I think that soft life has a lot to do with privilege and nepotism and Hollywood and kind of glamorizing capitalism for women. It's, stealth wealth, it's really pretty dresses, it's expensive cafes, expensive dinners, expensive travel. And don't get me wrong, I do think that those things are nice. I think that those things encompass some of what the developed world has to offer, some of the best of what the developed world has to offer. But I also think that national parks, hikes, trails, water sources, those things are free for everyone. And I think for a majority of Black women, we need to have specific conversations normalizing, utilizing those very within reach experiences, which are, and because so many Black women are not having those experiences, which they can have, which they have the opportunity to have, they are not as healthy as they could be. That is what I am specifically talking about. Give me a second. Yes, so I believe that um I believe that we let's start with nutrition. um I think we can all agree that living in poverty is very difficult. When you are living in poverty, it is very challenging to purchase healthy food options because there just, there aren't that many options. You might not know how to cook cheaply at home, though rice and chicken are nice options for getting like a bare minimum nutrition value. Having very high salts and sugar within those dishes actually makes them not as healthy, and that can be really bad for your heart, and it can cause you to have high things like cholesterol. So that's something to be aware of. And then there's other things just with like the trans fats, the sugars, and the juices and the sodas and shit like that. That's also a really big problem, which is causing people to be overweight. So having access and an understanding of why you need to drink water, and if you have a need for tea or coffee, having the ability to have those things, that's important, right? Um, and I also feel like um, mental health, everyone has a state of mental health, and not everyone's mental health state is poor. Some people are in a very good place with their mental health, probably because they have certain like communities, family members, friends, a significant other who they're able to chat back and forth with to unpack challenges that they're going through in their day-to-day lives, and so they're able to kind of dish their emotional shit somewhere. Or maybe like me, you've had a lot of therapy, and so now you're just in this really good place where you can talk about so many issues with kind of a level head and a deep understanding, because I've just had the time to listen to a lot of other YouTubers, a lot of other video essays, talk to a lot of different therapists to kind of not to kind of to get really deep understanding of how I feel, to make an informed opinion about things and not just feel so shell shocked. And I think that we don't have enough examples of Black women coming out and speaking out about shit that's happening in the regular world, so that other black women can listen to it and then say like, oh, okay, I can start from there and then form my own opinion. A lot of people are like, I feel like when I was starting from nothing. Like there was no one who had an opinion before me, or if they did, I didn't know what it was because the black brunch space is like all the way over there, right? So then you exist in some space that you create for yourself, but at least now we do have YouTube, and this is a very real space that I hope more people do utilize in order to feel and be better. So moving on from that, what happens though when you're not able to like talk through the things that are going on in your real life? Like maybe you're having issues with your coworkers, maybe you are having issues with the people that you live with, maybe you are having issues with your family members, maybe you are like, whatever it is, there's always going to be issues, but the bigger question is like, how do you deal with those issues? Like what do you do about it to enable you to maintain a state of good health? Now something actually there are actual consequences for not dealing with your feelings, and those typically translate like it starts to take a toll on your physical health, obviously, but the way that that looks can be really shitty sometimes. Like there's a certain thing known as like hard fat. And so I kind of broke this down. I had to re record, right? But hard fat, sometimes, especially in black women, I see it a lot with like when they call them like big backs, or your hips will start to get really wide. Sometimes it's like your belly fat, but belly fat is something different. I think that's just from eating the wrong foods. But if you start to like go up in a pant size in like your legs, and you feel your legs and you're like, oh no, that's muscle, but then you notice you got bigger, it's actually not muscle. What it is it's hard fat, and hard fat is stress fat. So what happens is like as life becomes more difficult and you have not found a way to like release those feelings and emotions, like say what you need to say, like get your fucking feelings out, like take care of it. If you need to be mad, be mad. If you need to be happy, be happy. Whatever the feelings are that you're experiencing, like you need to get the feelings from within out. And so one way to do that is through physical exercise, just talking with a friend, journaling, coming on YouTube and talking about it, like talking to a therapist about it. You need to feel validated and heard. Like that is a significant part of the human lived experience. And if you don't have that, your body will start to like compensate in unhealthy ways to enable you to survive. And building the hard stress fat is one of the ways that it's done, and it's so harmful for your physical health, to the point of like the hard fat starts to translate into fibroids, into like cancerous tumors and things like that. It's kind of like one of the reasons why I'm not it's one of the reasons why I do smoke cigarettes, because there's something about the nicotine that really helps with my personal stress. So if I am extremely stressed out, but then I smoke a cigarette, like it's a sense of relief for me, and because I can't have the stress just building up. I need the stress to exit my body so that I can be well for myself. Like I need that. I need that. And not everyone, I'm not going to say not everyone needs that, because everyone does need the release. But unfortunately, a lot of people aren't like taking advantage of the release that they need, and instead are just dealing with the buildup, and that is really bad. Dealing with the buildup is really bad. So don't do that, right? Like don't do that. Another part of that is physical exercise. So you just you like, a lot of us have desk jobs, right, where we sit at a desk all day. We're not actually moving around very much. You need to move around to burn a certain amount of calories. Also, a lot of us are just taking in way more calories than we actually need. So we're not using those calories anywhere, and it's just sitting there. You need to move shit around. Okay, you got to get going. This is why things like the BMI are useful, okay? Just to be able to like understand like in terms of relative health and like where I am in terms of my height and my weight and all that shit, like where am I on the scale? You just want to know if you're like tipping way over. Because sometimes it can feel like you're not as fat as you are. And you should, girl, like if you were a size 4 and now you're a size 10, like some shit has changed in your life. And like, you should reevaluate what's happening. Cause like, that's a big ass jump. Even, or if you went from like a 6 to a 0, okay, like you should also reevaluate some shit in your life. Like, are you eating at all? Like, everything might not be okay. Like drastic jumps like that sometimes indicate something is seriously going wrong in your life that you should do something about. Like the point is, like, you should probably take some action to change something to preserve your own physical health. I actually am talking about this topic because I heard Kenya talking about the topic. I also just want to introduce something. Like, I actually have a nutritionist. I've had a nutritionist before. I've had multiple personal trainers in the past. So, for me personally, I know that, like, if I want to meet a certain goal, like, I'm kind of like content with where my physical health is right now. There are some areas that I feel like are problematic, but it's not to the point where I'm going to do anything extreme. Like if I wanted to get into supermodel shape in 2 months, I could do that, but I don't want to like work myself that hard. Like that there's a real regimen, and I feel like other people have made YouTube videos about that. So if that's something that you're interested in, know that it's possible, but also know that it's not easy. So you're going to have to, really change a lot of things in your real life in order to make it so that that is possible for you if that's what you want. Otherwise, you can just have, a daily routine of physical exercise, that is around, I don't know, 30 to 45 minutes a day of just doing something, a very light trail walk, a walk around your neighborhood, whatever it is, and include some light weight training 2 or 3 times a week, and that is enough for you to live an extremely healthy lifestyle. Like that is all you need. You don't need more than that. um oh, I also wanted to include a recommendation that my nutritionist gave me, that was including a fat scale. It's basically a scale that it takes your body weight, but it also takes a composition of like fat, bones, bone density. It has all of these metrics, and it's connected to an app. And so you can literally monitor your weight gain and loss over time. And I think that that is really helpful, just to be able to know, like, how you're doing. So hopefully that is helpful to someone. Yes. Okay.